Hey, everybody. Welcome to Crypto Night in Canada. Dun,
Yo.
dun, 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 dun.
Oh, stop.
I know there's some bad hockey going on tonight. I think the Edmonton Oilers are playing the Winnipeg Jets tonight, if I'm not mistaken. But you're all here with us tonight. How is everybody?
Good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, everybody survived. Everybody changed their shorts.
I think
You're
the
in the
people
line.
in this live stream are probably pretty good. A lot of people here seem to be hodling and feeling pretty content with it, but the FUD was real today.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I tell you,
it's
it was
scary.
incredible. It was incredible. I was watching stuff on Facebook. I was watching stuff on Twitter, and everyone is just losing their mind.
Yeah.
And it's
No, that's crazy. So just to introduce everybody again, for those that are new to the channel, welcome. If you're here for the first time, thank you so much for joining. And if you've been around for a while, then you know everybody here. But I want to just take a moment, go do around the clock, and to
just point. That's me. They know me.
There's Timmer, and we got Ryan from the HiRye channel. Welcome. We've got Haas from the Onyx Block. We're so happy to have Haas in the house tonight. Ken, the Great White Vapor. Welcome. And of course, we got Neil, the Coin Chaser. So we got a full house tonight, and we got some of our favorite people are joining us. I see Gary and Redbeard and Verena and Guylaine and Rick and Moonbright, and I know Candace is in the house. I'm sure I'm missing a few others. Nelson, there's a bunch here. I know Jason Spooner was in. He made a really nice comment about he can't understand why we don't have 1,000 subs yet. I think it's because we're old people. Tim and I are old people. We aren't as exciting as Ryan and Haas. So that's
What the hell.
Don't be ageist, everyone. Come on now.
Haas, sakes.
Yeah, and you got.
Where's the mute button?
Oh, stop. So, okay. So quick call out to the folks who are watching with us live. We got 38 people and 2 minutes in. This is amazing. So who's been suffering with a little bit of FUD today? Just if you want to put it in the comments, we can see who's been having a little bit of the
I think Nancy wasn't here. I'm going to show it. And for the 42 people here, you're anyone else who's going to watch, you just hang on a sec here. I'm going to go to this. Wait.
Oh, Tim's being fancy. Tim's trying something.
Nancy, I'm just being. Okay, so everyone be quiet. Oh my God, please be very, very quiet. I'm hunting crypto. Elmer Fudd, get it? Elmer Fudd.
Oh, that's
is
the
peak
ultimate
dad joke.
That is, Ryan. You're absolutely right. That's the key dad joke for sure. Vedran says, "Cryptos are us made a few good videos that put his mind at ease." That's amazing. Nelson says, "My wife, I had to talk her off the ledge." Dan says he's guilty. He's got some FUD going on. Verena says, "Please talk about your mindset." She on this little crash. Okay, so let's do that for a minute. Let's talk about mindset.
Well, let's ask the panel here, who was checking their phones overnight and waking up and checking their phones, or went to bed late? Raise your hand.
I work in the morning.
This guy.
I slept like a baby last night. That's all I got to say.
I was stuck up till 2 o'clock in the morning watching ETH, which sucks because I usually wake up at say 7:30 to 8 o'clock in the morning, and because I was up so late last night, I missed the very thing that I was looking for last night. But I was up till like 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning watching the charts, and I was lucky. Built the cash, or I had a cash position sitting kind of ready to go in case for stocks, but kind of wound up that crypto needed some too. So I was lucky to get in on a little bit of ETH last night, buying the dip. But just looking at the ETH chart now, I could have bought it cheaper, but whatever. It is what it is.
You know what's funny, Ryan, is that just looking, you don't see that, do you? You don't see the CoinGecko, do you?
No.
It's okay, good. But the Bitcoin is down to $37,000, and people are losing their mind because they bought in at a higher rate. And that's not even close to what we bought in at. And people are going, to all those people right now, all you 55 listeners that are listening right now, when the price was 55, 58, 59, 60, whatever, I wish I'd bought it. Ta-da! Time to buy in.
I watched a guy
back
do
down low again, baby. Buy little Satoshi at a time.
I watched a guy do a live buy last night of $10,000 when it was at just around 43.
And this is a weird thing too. Like last night was really unique because you never really see this on YouTube. I mean, Haas would know this. He's got his YouTube channel, but it's you don't often go on YouTube at 1 o'clock in the morning, Western Mountain Time, or 2 o'clock in the morning and see a lot of live streams going on. I was watching a live stream last night, actually. This is what ticks me off that I don't know, that I maybe haven't progressed as far as I want to be, because I actually learned a valuable lesson that I do need to progress with platforms that I use, because I've got an ability, but I'm limited a little bit by my on-ramps and BlockFi, because that's essentially all I'm working with right now. But this guy he charted and did a TA with ETH, for instance, that was like an hour, and I was addicted to it. He was predicting, okay, 2,200, maybe 1,800, right around there, and it's at like 2 o'clock in the morning. He's got like no viewers. I'm sitting there, I'm like, this guy's just so on the ball right now. But I didn't have the ability to set a buy limit, for instance, with what I'm using, right? So it kind of ticked me off in that sense. So I ended up just buying right before bed, but like through Shakepay. But last night was unique. I have yet to see a situation where the people you follow in stocks and crypto are up at, frig, Eastern time, that was 4 o'clock in the morning, and these people are rocking live streams and just bah, 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 bah. Last night was pretty intense.
Yep. Haas, what do you think? What's your take on all of this?
It's hard to say, because I was the person saying that we're going to hold at 42,000, right? And obviously we didn't. We broke through the line of support. That just tells me that we're going into a bearish downturn. But in all honesty, when you look at this, just like what Tim said, a lot of people complaining now are the ones that were buying Bitcoin at 45 to 52K, 64K even, maybe a little bit higher. Like, this is your time to lower your dollar cost average. So really, there are people that dream for dips like this. We're probably going to be in an extended dip. It could go lower, so be prepared. But just dollar cost average, take it day by day. Don't throw in like a big wad of cash, but slow and steady, maybe every couple of days, every day, whatever you feel more comfortable with. But that way you get an average of what's happening over the next couple of days. So that's my best advice, at least.
Well, and Haas, the thing to add on to that is that we're in a time where it's not just Ethereum or it's not just Bitcoin that is coming down. They're all coming down. Like, I don't know how many times throughout the day I just, from my cell phone hit on CoinGecko. It was all red. Even the U.S. stable coins were red, and it's like you don't see that very often, right? Mass exodus. Now, a couple of things is that this is whale territory. This could be a little bit of whale territory. It could be a little you-know-who Tesla. But it could be also, the one thing that I don't think we understand is that it could be people taking stuff out because of taxes. I don't know. There's the Canadian Bitcoiners on there. Had a little back and forth with Joy today. And
I got to back up everything they just said, because last night, for instance, when I put in that little bit of money into Shakepay, and I know that Tim and Nancy, if you're brand new, they have that link below if you want to join with Shakepay. But when I did put in that money, it was 1,000, because I have a cash position for stocks and crypto. So I put 1,000 into it. And I was expecting to deal with it tomorrow morning, or because I wanted to go to bed. Within seconds, literally within seconds, it was like faster than an automatic deposit with TD Bank. That's how quick Shakepay's been recently. And everything had issues today, everywhere from Binance to CoinSquare Coinbase, like all of it, everything, BlockFi, you name it. Shakepay had not one freaking issue all day. Like, so I got that comment totally, because it's amazing. The GOAT.
Yep.
Jordan says Shakepay is the GOAT. There you go.
Yeah, it's incredible. And this is the time not to, this is,
okay.
as I say.
So, go ahead.
No, please.
Silence.
All right. So last night, I haven't been buying much at all. I've been sitting for about a week. And last night, I actually bought a little on the dip. Unfortunately, when I woke up this morning, the dip was more significant. But I've only been in a couple months, but I've actually heard a couple different people say something similar to what Tim was saying about the last month, it's too easy, and this is going to get harder now to make money, and that this is now it's really on. And if you look at previous bull markets, there were huge pullbacks. So I guess I've been really lucky in the last 2 months to not experience something, but I'm getting more used to this.
Well, you know what, Neil? Neil? It's not going to get harder to make money. It's going to get easier to make money, because this is when the price is low, and this is when, if you've got the reserve and you've got the funds, don't borrow. Remember, don't credit out and do this. But because the price is low, this is when you go in on the coins. But make sure you're doing your due diligence about them, right?
Yeah. Just remember, we're seeing January prices right now. There's a lot of people that have entered after January, right? All those people complaining about the dip. Oh no, 30% of my portfolio is gone. Buy. I don't know why you're freaking out. You should be happy. This is a celebratory time, which is exactly why
I'm a big fan of
I
buying
love it.
the dip.
Celebratory time.
I just want to say this too, because it applies to, and on my channel, if you're brand new, I do a lot more stocks than crypto, but I dive into crypto with the Danters there. But the amount of retail traders that entered the market January, end of December, right around the time I even conveniently started this channel, that push in retail traders too is screwed the market truly, when it totally, like, there was an image that I posted to my Facebook today that I thought I'm going to get beat up for it because people are going to hate me, but it was comparing a 3-hour or 4-hour chart with Bitcoin, Dogecoin, XRP, like there was like 5 of them. Charts look the exact same. The retail traders are obviously just trading, it seems, almost entirely on sentiment as opposed to any actual value. So these retail traders, it's exciting that they actually got into the market, because I'm a retail trader. It's exciting to have more of these people. But these, the massive ups and downs like this is in part because of them. So I don't see this like massive downswing as a problem with Bitcoin, but more a problem with the people buying Bitcoin or who've owned Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Because we're not necessarily ready for a 30% gain without just bailing on everything, or a 20% drop and people are just out, just like stocks. Like the amount of retail traders that are affecting normal volumes right now it's a serious, I don't know where it's going to go, but it's interesting the amount of people that are not trading based on, like Haas does technical analysis like a kingpin, but how many people are not giving an SH about that? You know what I mean? Yeah. Because they're anyway, it's unique, but.
Well, there's the point of view that when you say the dominance of Bitcoin is low, and then that's when everything else goes. You know what? I think Bitcoin kind of takes its lumps in that respect, because I really have to ask the question, and I'll pose it out to everyone, including the panel here. Really, I mean, does it really have anything to do with Bitcoin? Or is it just that the market is doing other things that they were going to do, and Bitcoin is just doing what it's supposed to do, and because people are coming into other coins or ETH or whatever, it's manipulating the percentage that Bitcoin represents of the overall market. Everyone kind of gives. I feel that people give lumps to Bitcoin, and it's like, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. I don't know. I'll stir the pot.
Yeah, I would say in terms of like technical analysis, the dominance doesn't tell you anything other than how altcoins are going to move against Bitcoin. It literally gives you no metric on how Bitcoin's doing, unless like for whatever reason Bitcoin's capitulating and the rest of the market is taking off, which that's a rare occasion. We haven't truly seen something like that. So like when you're looking at the dominance, you're really only looking at what is the market going to do, not necessarily what Bitcoin's going to do.
Right. So at this point in time, with what we see and what we hear, what are we are we looking at a particular coin as the indicator that the market's going to rebound? Are we looking at stocks to say that this crypto market is going to rebound? Are there any indicators, or is it just like we're going to have to wait and see?
I'd say my biggest indicators right now, I'd encourage anyone, if you have TradingView, you can have a free setup and just go. You don't get many indicators, but you can go search up charts that I'm talking about. The DXY is the dollar index that's pumping right now, and usually when that pumps, crypto kind of dumps a little, crashes a little bit. But it's right now the crash is just so big that it can't be attributed to one big thing. There's a lot going on in geopolitical, economics, and everything else. It's a very volatile time out there. So to look at a drop like this, yeah, it makes sense when realistically our market cap is only $2.3 trillion before this all happened. Now we're sitting at something
1.
like 1. That's an immense, that's a very small amount of money. I know it doesn't sound like it, but the U.S. stimulus was what, $1.9 trillion. It's not a lot of money. Not a lot of money. But when you talk about just fear among the people, that's going to easily send down a market, especially one as small as this. And when you get a lot of new holders, a lot of new fear, a lot of new FUD, everyone's going to get shaken out and kind of let go of their bags. It's unfortunate. I wouldn't recommend anyone selling at a negative, but it is what it is.
Well, Ryan, you did something in stocks today, and you on your video, you were doing a whole bunch of buys and stuff like this and reorganizing stuff. But you didn't really, I mean, let me put it this way. Would your reaction be the same with your stocks as it was with crypto if it did that? Or would you just know your stocks well enough to say, no, they're going to be okay. They're going to rebound in a couple of months or whatever, and I'm just going to, weather the storm?
Yeah, well, I mean, I still own Standard Lithium. For instance, I put another balance in the personal account. So there hasn't been a lost stock. The only reason I did that reposition was more or less and it has nothing to do with the stock itself. It's just kind of what I want my TFSA to be versus my RSP versus my personal account. But today, obviously, probably motivated me a little bit more to shore things up if I have the ability with certain things. And I probably wouldn't have done today's video if it wasn't for what happened. But I'm glad that I did it. I shifted something over with profit into some other safer stocks and then still own it in my personal, yada, yada, yada. But it was... I probably wouldn't have done it without the news today, but I'm glad that it happened. That every time something bad happens, there's an opportunity to shore up your position, make sure you're ready for what might come down the road. Like if this is like the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, not even 3 weeks, first kind of 2 weeks of this, guys, we just got an inflation report out and it's brutal. And this is what happens like a week later. So let's be real, because this is probably nothing. So if anything, I just wanted to make sure that my TFSA is what I want it to be for a few years, set it and forget it type of thing. But yeah, today's move wasn't necessarily like in fear, again, because nothing was sold out, but I did want to shore up for sure.
Can we just go ahead? I was just going to say, I wanted to see what Vedran is saying here. Fortunately, I don't think Elon is going to be tweeting any negativity on Bitcoin anymore. Wanted to get the panel's opinion about this. Do you think we're done with Elon Musk and his crazy comments, or do we think that he's just going to continue to be up and down with what he says? Because one minute he says he doesn't want it, the next minute he says Tesla's holding the position. What do we think?
Didn't we just have a U.S. president that was similar to what Elon does and has no filter and just is impulsive with what he does?
Yeah, I'm not a Tesla bear at all. I'm an EV bull. That's where we're going. But Tesla stock is overvalued. But when you're looking at Elon Musk, if he didn't learn from the 420 event back a couple of years ago, getting sued by the SEC, he's not going to learn now. So I do think he's just going to be a factor. But one day, the crypto market's just going to be so big that what Elon tweets isn't going to matter. It's not going to change a thing.
I agree with that.
That makes three of us.
Yeah.
I didn't really have an opinion on it before. I don't really care for him now, but I was never going to buy a Tesla because they're just.
Well, he tweeted today that he's diamond handing Bitcoin. It had zero effect whatsoever. So I think the impact that his tweets are having, I don't know, like even it's just wearing off. I mean, it obviously spiked up a few weeks ago or a couple of months ago when he did this Doge thing way back when. I think it's wearing off. I think it's like a social thing too. You're getting kind of tired of the BS. You don't even care at this point. But again, he tweeted something very positive. Diamond handing Bitcoin, whatever. It literally had not one impact on it. So
it's probably because he was told to, right? Like I've heard a lot of talk about that one tweet that he had where he responded to someone and said Indeed about selling their holdings, and he's going to be watched. He's going to get in trouble for that, right?
But this is the thing. So the SEC, they've already spoken about this so much on the news, and he's on a very fine line because, for instance, he is. I know for a fact he's got someone checking this over. He must, but he never actually said I'm going to sell Bitcoin. He said I can. By saying Indeed, he was acknowledging that the person understands why he's feeling hostility toward Bitcoin. So he's never. Not to mention, he can take a shit on Bitcoin all day long if he doesn't transact, because the issue essentially with the SEC is a personal gain. So if there's no transaction or anything like that at the end of the day, or if he holds Doge forever, for instance, he can talk about it all he wants. So as long as there's no physical gain on his part, he's never going to get in trouble for this. And I think actually he has probably figured that out, because it's so carefully worded, like that Indeed tweet. You really did have to look at that again to realize it. I mean, because if you just flashed over that tweet, just like everyone else, oh, he's selling Bitcoin. Indeed, I want to get rid of all his stuff. It's not quite what was said. So I think he's crafting things expertly right now. But we're talking about the SEC actually the other day, and I don't think he's ever going to get in trouble for it, because he's hodling, and so he's not gaining on anything right now. So
let me talk about the elephant.
And I watched.
The one thing to say though is he has shareholders in Tesla, and if he's already, there's been multiple attempts. Like, I think that he's playing with fire there. But you're right. Like, the SC or they don't have any bearing on crypto, right? It's just that since Tesla picked up a holding, that's the only reason why he has to kind of watch his step.
But if you guys noticed around this tweet, it was so, and I don't mean to be the conspiracy guy on the panel, I really don't, but everything just seems so great on timing, the news all coming out all at once, and just continuous bombardment. It almost seems like the people at the top, the CNBC heads, all the people that are basically manipulating the financial market. We've seen it with GameStop, we've seen it with other areas in the stock market. It just seemed like they're just trying to create a massive amount of FUD, shake out a massive amount of people, and create a lower buying opportunity for some big heavy hitters to get in at a lower price. That's all I see it as.
That's an interesting point.
Well, the other thing is that, just let me go here, Nance. The other thing is that, see, I'm tough when she's not beside me. Haas and I just did a couple of in conversations with, and we talked about exit strategy. So I guess I planned this out because people are freaking out, and they're getting out because of, well, I guess to a degree it's FOMO, fear of missing out, of getting out, and FUD, and so it can go either way depending on how you want to spin that. But you know what, I Haas or whoever wants to take this on, is this the time to be exiting and taking your lumps?
Hell no. Hell no.
Now's the time to profit.
Yeah, now you buy.
You set yourself up for really good profit now.
Mm-hmm. Think about it this way. Just a little while ago, just a couple of days ago, we had Ethereum, above $4,000? We had Cardano above $2.30. We had Bitcoin over $52,000. All these other great tokens, great projects that we had were pushing all-time highs just a couple of weeks ago. Are you thinking that it could never hit that price again? Because that would be your bet. If you're selling now, your bet is these prices are never going to go up again. I might as well take my loss. And if that's the case, if you're in a shitcoin and that's what's happening, by all means, get out of the shitcoin. But if you're holding on good projects, why would you sell?
I would go. Theta's under $8 a coin right now. It's a good time to get some Theta. It really is.
Yeah. I saw Theta earlier at $7, and I was like, God damn.
Yeah, it's like $7.50 or something right now.
Beautiful. So $6 right now. Oh, my Blockfolio is like out of date. I don't know what it actually is. I can't tell Blockfolio today.
Earlier, people were asking what kind of coins to look at. One of the strategies I've been doing since I've been doing better recently, because at the beginning I wasn't very successful at all, and I finally a few weeks ago called it and reevaluated, and look at some of the stuff that's retraced the highest. Link is under $30 last time I checked. Link is needed for DeFi. It's the biggest oracle. If you want to get out of a shitcoin and go into something that's more stable, something that has like use, Link. There's all kinds of them there, but I would definitely look. I'd probably stay in the top 50, top 100 for sure. But start looking at what's had big retracements, and usually like right now, I'm kind of kicking myself that I bought stuff last night because Kusama again was at like 380, and I'm just sitting there, and that's one of my biggest holdings. I love it. It was up over 600 briefly. I think it's going to go again. Like, look at what's retraced and see what's a good entry for you now and what you believe in. Because since I did that kind of reorganization and really purged, I'm feeling much more comfortable going to bed at night and not running to look at everything to know what's going on, because I feel much more comfortable and confident in what I have.
Well, and Tim Perry will. He's got some other commitments. He may come on later, but to just sort of echo and to repeat what he said when he was all about Matic and Polygon saying difference. Look at it go.
Yeah, Matic has been up.
Wow.
And they've retraced, of course, right? Because everything has. But there are projects out there that if you believe in them, this is a good chance. And sorry, go ahead.
No worries. There's one big thing that I have gotten asked, and if you are a trader or you're looking to secure some profits, I've been asked this like at least 5 different times today, just today alone. I've been asked numerous times on my channel and everything else. But the best store of value to go into when you're trying to shelter some profits is probably going to be Pax Gold. So if Bitcoin's down low enough and you have a really pumped altcoin, sure, stack sats, absolutely. I'm never going to say no, especially at these prices. But Pax Gold is really going to be a place where you can store a chunk of money if you're really feeling not super secure in the market. Maybe you leveraged, maybe you, whatever, you took a 14% loan for whatever reason. Please don't. But if you did, at that point, you can maybe shift it off into Pax Gold, let it sit, get interest until you feel more comfortable to enter the market. Now, that's not normally what I would do, but I usually cash out little amounts into Pax Gold and just leave a bag full. And at that point, I can sell it on Binance and then buy whatever altcoin I want, DCA back in with Pax Gold profits. So that's probably the most secure thing that you can be in, other than the USD, because obviously I don't trust the USD right now.
So let me ask you a question.
PAXG, yeah.
But for those who don't understand, and I'll ask someone to walk through it. I mean, investing and the other thing I think about is staking. You know, because that is a way to make some serious passive income. So my question to everyone here on the panel tonight is that, you know, I guess because of the dips and stuff with all the coins that you may be staking, are you still getting the bang for your buck?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, if you think about it, you're getting all your returns in crypto, right? So I'm earning my whatever percent, 5% on ADA. So I'm getting 5% ADA. I'm getting a couple Cardano every time I get an epoch. Same thing with DOT. Kraken pays me 2 times a week in DOT, not dollars, DOT. So I'm stacking my DOT. So whatever DOT is right now, maybe I'm only earning a couple bucks every time I get a payout or something like that. But in the next 5 to 10 years, if I hold on to some of those altcoins that I know are going to be big later on down the road, that $3 to $5 to $10, whatever your interest payment is, that's going to grow exponentially with your crypto. So anytime that you can stake, earn interest on crypto directly is absolutely going to be the best thing that you can do.
Especially if you're going to hold. I started doing it in the last 3 weeks because I buy coins and I'm not a trader. I'm trying to learn, but you know, I've got other things going on, so I kind of hold more, and I'm trying to find coins that where I buy them, I can stake them. I've been doing that with Root. I was very pleasantly surprised when I logged in what I found, especially when it was at, you know, its higher price. So that's kind of why I went back yesterday to get some more Root.
I think that's a downfall of us, and something we say we're going to get around to it, but we never do. Is we need to stake, and we haven't done that yet. And I think our passive income's through BlockFi. That's sort of been our golden goose, but I see more and more value out of the fact that we need to be staking a few select coins.
Well, Tim, let's just back the train up. Whose downfall is that?
Oh, I took 100% responsibility.
Because I think I've said it every week. We need to stake. We need to stake. We need to stake. We need to stake. We need to stake.
There's a lot.
When you all heard it. You all heard it.
And I keep saying, how much steak do you want? I can't eat that much red meat, you know?
This guy.
I'm sorry, I see the opportunity when I take it, you know?
There's so many different platforms to actually stake with. Like, if you think about it, sometimes it can get really complex. There's a lot of like all-in-one areas. Like Celsius is really good for like the odds and ends, the altcoins that people don't usually think of. But when you're talking about like Cardano, Polkadot, there's there's definitely better yields to go with like the Daedalus wallet or straight from the Polkadot.js, right? So there's so many different options to stake with.
I heard you could stake off the Ledger. You can off Ledger
with Dot, yeah. Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
And we had a question. Abu says, "What's the minimum to stake ADA? Is there
0.
minimums on these things?
Yeah,
you can
I assume
stake as much as you want, right?"
So you pay a fee to get into some stake pools. So I think the fee that I pay for my stake pool, it's for the YouTuber Benjamin Cohen that does Into the Cryptoverse. So I guess I'm plugging him right now, the ITC stake pool. But it charges like 0.1 ADA, and I've seen some stake pools charge 2 ADA. But you just put in as much ADA as you want. You could pick any stake pool that you want. It doesn't benefit me at all, but.
Well, in that example,
I need to know more about that.
What's your return on investment? If you're paying to come into the game, do you have an idea or just a wild ass guess of what the percentages you're making on that?
It depends. I think there's some way to actually show the actual percent, but I know most of them should give about 4.5 to 5%. That's basically average. 4.5 to 5% is average for a Cardano staking pool. Yep. So if you're not making that, you're probably getting shafted in some way.
Yep. I just want to take a moment. We're 30 minutes in. We're up to 100 viewers in the community right now. That is a record for Crypto Night in Canada. Thank you for all tuning in. We have myself, Tim Danter, for those of you who are new to the channel. To my right is my wife, Nancy Danter. And then over one is Ryan Hemsley from the HiRye YouTube channel. Check him out. He does the original Wealth Simple Challenge with stocks. Awesome stuff coming out of there. Below me is the coin chaser, Mr. Neil. And over here is Ken, the TheGreatWhiteVaper. And over below Ryan is Oz. Onyx Block, he does some wicked technical analysis and not to be missed because he is. And then, of course, we have Tim Perry, who normally is here, but he's just, I think, taking a breather, and he should be hopefully coming on at some point in time. But I want to let you know that we are on the HiRye channel Sunday nights at 8 o'clock. And there's going to, I think, probably be an announcement. We're guests with Rye on Sunday nights. We will probably have an announcement. So there's the hook, ladies and gentlemen. You need to tune in Sunday night at 8 o'clock at the HiRye YouTube channel, because there is going to be an announcement from the Crypto Night in Canada. Nancy's going to tell me when she gets back.
I am. I didn't know we were having an announcement, but I will say this. So we created something for Ryan's community called the Candlestick Confidential. They're little notebooks, C for the nickel and dime crew, and they're all, there's some password stuff in here. There's investment watch list. There's a bunch of different fun tools in here to help you keep track of your crypto and your stocks and all the rest of it. And I thought it'd be fun in celebration of having 100 viewers tonight to give away a couple of books. What do you think, Tim?
I think so, yeah. How are you going to do that? Because the stupid randomizer just doesn't.
No, I know. I don't know how, you're the technical guy.
We could spend a few minutes figure it. I was going to say this, guys, in preparation of them kind of figuring out how we're going to do these prizes. Their books are amazing, by the way, because whether your poison is crypto or stocks, it's kind of made for both. So it's perfect. But guys, we got almost 100 people and only 45 likes. So at least do me the solid, okay? And hit that like button, smash that like button. Make sure you guys contribute. Definitely helps out the Danters, and we keep these nights going, obviously. And I think going forward, too, as we all start learning more, again, I'm kind of the newbie here, these are going to get more comprehensive and more interesting, especially now that we've got the TA genius down here. We've got Ken, who knows everything about every freaking coin I've ever heard of in my life. Seriously. And then we have the coin chaser, who's wicked on Twitter, by the way. He's getting into things with Tim Perry. So, again, guys, hit like and subscribe, because we really just started this about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and we're really rocking and rolling here. So I love being here every Wednesday.
Okay, I figured it out, Nance, before I forget. I figured this out. Yeah, so what I want to do is I want to see everyone who is new, just put new, and we're going to give a book away to someone who is new to the channel. That's where one of the books is going to go, and I'm just going to randomly, when we see who's new, pick one.
Honor system, everyone. But let's welcome all the newbies too who do say that they're new. This community is absolutely amazing. So say hi to them. And while we find them too, feel free to throw out your questions if you've been here for a while, because we've got 6 incredible people here who definitely know a lot.
So Ken, what are you looking at? You looking at any particular coin that looks to be good for the dip, that's going to have the longevity to hold on for a couple of months or even a year?
You had to ask, eh? Theta.
Well, yes, there was a moment of silence, and I had to fill it.
Theta and T-Fuel. I'm still on this big Theta.
Oh, are you? You're still with that, huh? Good for you.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh,
they
yeah.
keep announcing new stuff every day, and I'm just like, really? Okay, I'll hold on.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold.
Yeah. I haven't heard the OMI one come out in a while. Neil, what do you think?
There is stuff going on with the OMI too.
Oh, I know.
I actually was looking at it today, and I just found it interesting. Everything's like down 20, 25, 30% plus. And OMI was only down like 9.9%. I'm like, what's going on here? And it had a pump yesterday, and it's like, this makes no sense that is happening this way with that coin. So I don't know. I'm just, like I said, it's in the vault. I'll look at it next year.
I think there's certain holders of certain coins that are repositioning themselves right now, and we're seeing a lot of that with the whole up and down. But right now is a good time for you to make a dollar if you're going to start doing some trading. The way the market is right now, you can make a decent amount of money.
ETH is low at the moment.
Yeah, somebody else just put ETH is free falling. That was Vedran was saying ETH is free falling.
I'm probably approaching, not quite yet. I'm just looking at everything right now. I'm probably approaching a break-even point right now, unfortunately.
Ethereum's at $2,540. We're still in the green on that. We're still in the green.
There was a question there that what is everyone buying? And I'd just like to say, for me, the big things that I'm buying. So I'm hugely bullish on the Polkadot system. Obviously, I'm DCAing like things like XRP, ETH, and Bitcoin every day with Shakepay and Coinberry. But right now, like my eyes are looking at DOT, KSM. If you guys at all have been hearing about the PSwap stuff, the PokaSwap stuff, Zor is available on Uniswap, which is at an all-time low since I got in a couple of weeks, almost a month ago, at $487. And that's going to be the gas token for the PSwap DEX that people are actively using right now. So everyone's going to eventually look for alternatives to ETH. So if you think long-term and think where PokaSwap can go, you start to realize that having some Zor and then maybe get onto the platform, buying some PSwap, it's going to be beneficial in the long term. And these prices, you can't beat getting in at this price. So I'm probably going to fund a little bit more this weekend.
Okay, so I got this figured out. Pick a number. Everyone, it's all 95 of you. Pick a number between 1 and 4.
Oh my God. 1 and 4?
Well, I'd have Eddie pick it, but he doesn't
do
speak
with
human.
anything.
By the way, folks, that's Eddie. He's the mascot for the HiRye.
Eddie is a definite nickel and dimer. Just chills with us and sleeps beside me in almost every video, if you guys notice it.
Oh my God, Tim! You have people picking 3, 3, 2, 2, and Redbeard pick 69.
Now Redbeard.
Nice.
That makes 15. So
I don't understand.
We can make a 15 out of it.
I do not understand your thought process. 1 to 4. Why? Why that?
Welcome home.
No,
looks like
this
number
is
3.
why I'm here and
looks
you're
like
there.
Number 3. Yeah. Okay, it looks like number 3 has it though. Wouldn't you agree, folks?
So everybody who put number 3?
No, it looks like 3's
What? I don't understand what this
I'm looking
is,
for how
Tim.
many people are picking a number.
There's quite
Nancy,
a bit of
you should
number
be tallying
3s
this.
here,
We're supposed to tally all this. It looks like 3 has it.
Okay.
What does that even mean?
And
Well, I've assigned names to them.
3?
I've assigned names to them.
Oh, he's assigned names to the new people.
You don't
He's
need all the
assigned
details. You just have to pick a number.
Oh,
14.
No. So who picked? So is it? Would the panel agree 3 looks to be the predominant one there without doing too much of a deep dive?
I'm
yes.
lost, dude.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So our winner is Chris Spurl. Congratulations,
Chris Spurl.
Winner. No, crypto chicken. What was that? Oh my God, it's been so long since
Chris got lucky too because his last guess was 2. But he's still a winner, so forget it. But
So, Chris, what I need you to do is in our description below is our email. I need you to send me the details of where you live and your phone number, and we are going to send you out a book. So congratulations, and there you go. And oh, geez, look who it is. Look who it is.
Oh.
There it is. There he is. Everyone's been wondering what you were. They thought they cut your finger off or something like that.
People were worried you were sick. It was really bad.
I told Tim I was just going.
I know you did. I just didn't tell the public what you were doing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just
at a business meeting.
Yeah, sometimes
See,
I got.
that's what I told the public.
So how's everybody?
How are you? Everybody's
you know.
freaking out. There's a lot of FUD going on.
Well, has everyone already, like, obviously a lot of you have talked about it. I can give my synopsis if you guys want, quick.
Go ahead.
For it.
Fire away.
Where do I start?
Last night.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was funny because last night with Neil, while he was sleeping, but I got an alert right before I was going to bed. It got to like 38, and I remember telling Neil and my buddy, I'm like, man, I'm like, the only thing that's going to ruin us is like a big red dildo down. And I don't see that happening in the next few hours, so we're good. Low enough, I wake up and see what I saw. But I don't know. I'm definitely I've been humbled, obviously. I was wrong. All my buddies that were calling for like bear trend, bear market type activity, this could be going that way. So I think a lot of people right now are saying buy the dip, do this. I'm not saying don't, but we have to acknowledge that this ain't the same game as it was in 2017. You have a lot more coins out there. The average coin outside of the top 100 has been hit hard. They've done what some coins took 2 years in 2018-19 to do in 2 months. So you've got 80-90% retraces in the last 2 months. So I've started acknowledging that we could very well be in a bear trend. It does not mean that you cannot make money, but I would be very cautious about where you put your money, trend-wise, all this stuff. Couple notables I took from today. One thing I need to start watching more, and if anyone really, and I'm sure Haas probably watches this kind of stuff, but leverage trading. I think leverage trading, I once got told that leverage trading is going to destroy the crypto market. And I'm starting to think that there's a higher case for that. There was a lot of flash crashes on lots of exchanges today. Matic on Binance flash crashed down to like 94 cents. Obviously, you didn't see that as a whole, but that liquidates a lot of people. What happens is when you're over leveraged, everyone can see it. They can just manipulate the market. Everyone keeps trying to leverage long, and then of course the whales are going to dump it on you. And that's another thing I want to get at. This looks like just coordinated whale game, and we're just living in their world, right? So, I mean, they can do whatever they want at will. The more we keep leveraging and the more we keep thinking, oh, there's going to be another jump up, they'll just keep bringing the price down because they can. And they'll just sell their Bitcoin, but they'll be leveraged 100x short, and they'll make their money back tenfold. So there's that. I think this is giant whale games. I've always said every market's coordinated up or down. So I don't think we live in any free markets, and crypto's the same. One thing I on a really good note today is I just made me that much stronger my conviction for Matic and the Matic system. Binance was down. You couldn't withdraw funds. There was a whole lot of issues. Kraken, so many exchanges had problems. Uniswap gas fees went up to $300-400. So obviously, even if you wanted to sell it, you're lost. You're stuck holding. If you were on Matic, you could have sold out for pennies on the dollar. You didn't have to worry about your funds being not withdrawn from exchanges. And then you saw this huge, like today I was amazed with the price action of Matic. Matic held Matic, Sushi, Aave, all those ones that I mentioned before are holding up well because one issue I said last week is liquidity. Every market, the biggest, and we learned this today, liquidity is still a huge issue with crypto. You had so many flash crashes, so many things, all because of liquidity. So many millionaires are obviously, if they're selling, they're going to sell and they're going to take a huge chunk out of the liquidity. It's going to drop prices. It's going to mess with stuff. So Matic and Aave, what they're doing with the liquidity mining and everything, just reassures me there. So I think personally we're in a bear trend, and choose your coins wisely. You can still make money, but if you're in for the long haul, obviously I wouldn't look at your screen for the next couple of weeks. But I was definitely wrong in my overall scope of everything. But
yeah, I was equally as wrong because I put out a video just the night before everything came out saying, hey guys, don't worry, we're going to hold 42 and we're going to bounce right back up. Everything's okay. That's obviously not the case. And even now, we're looking at the market, it's down to $1.47 trillion. We have ETH at 2250, ADA's 137, DOT is 23,
Right.
KSM is under 300 at 297. God, I hope Newton is available today. BNB is at 304, VeChain at 9 cents. There's a lot of really good buys here, but just like Tim said, and I've stressed this on my channel and I've stressed it at the top of everything talking here, we're not confident that it can't go further down, right? So you've got to be prepared for that. Dollar cost average, don't blow everything in all at once. Definitely take it chunk by chunk, wick by wick, because these could still fall. I am expecting it's not unrealistic for us to see under 30K Bitcoin in the next week, right? So it's possible. Is it likely? I'm not sure, but it's still possible, right? Regardless of what's likely. So I wouldn't necessarily throw all your money in right now at this free fall. I would definitely put in a little. But ultimately, if you're here, just like Tim was saying, if you're here for the long term, this doesn't matter. If this spooks you, either one of two things: go trade stocks and be happy with your life, or don't look at Blockfolio and just ignore it. Set it and forget it. And that's probably the strategy that most people should take if you find that you're emotionally trading. You should just be hodling.
And I'd just like to add, obviously, I talk from a person who's obviously, I'm out to make a lot of money. And I obviously do this pretty much for my living to try to make a lot of money. So when I'm saying like right now, like the other day, Neil knows this, and I really played it pretty wrong. And obviously I've been too close to the fire, I think, for the last few days. And I was in USDC, which is basically Tether. And then all of a sudden I saw Matic. I made one good play is I went US dollar on everything. And all of a sudden though, I looked at Matic and Matic looked strong as hell. And that was like $1.50 at the time. And Neil saw me in real time and I'm like, oh, I'm back in Matic, but I still held out on my US on a lot of other coins. And then I got back in, but I was wrong on that. But Matic, like, and Aave and stuff like that, they're obviously they dipped, but they're still higher up than it was a few days ago. So we'll see. That still doesn't mean jack squat with what could come. Like Haas said, I've been in 2018, 2019. I saw red for 6 months straight. And I'm not here to blow air up your ass. Like, it could get uglier and uglier. I don't think it's going to be a little bit of both. Like I said, I'm admitting that there could be a bear trend, but there's money to be made. Just make sure you know where you're parking it and follow the trends like strongly. And if you are just in at the long haul and you really like a coin with the fundamentals, get in. Don't look at it for a bit sometimes, because if you sell, who knows? But I don't know. But then you have 2017. These kind of drops happen 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, here's the thing on that point. And a question for the panel and the chat. So feel free to type in the chat. But who was actually here for the March capitulation 2020? Like out of the panel, who was here?
Not me.
So we got in just after. We just got in just after that.
This capitulation, if you look at March 2020, this is what we saw. This is what we lived through. And we were in a bear market. We were just inching out of the bear market. We had hope and, it's coming out. Bitcoin at 10, 11K. Look at this. And then all of a sudden, boom, Bitcoin to 3K. So,
and take it from a guy who literally, I'll be dead honest with you guys. In 2017, 2018, I took 3 figures and I turned it into 300,000. Okay. From 2018, like early 2018 to that March capitulation wick, I was now worth $2,400. So this is why I've walked through the fire, and I'm telling you guys, it can get a lot worse. But, and then I took that 2,400 and I did a miracle again with it. And then the fall hit and we had 2 months pretty ugly in the fall. And now we've already had 2 months ugly for a lot of stuff. That's why with Neil, he's seen it. I'd pivot now. Like, if I had stayed in Union this whole time, I'd be down 80% from riding the high. I'd still be up because I bought it at a penny, but I would have not made mostly any profits. So unfortunately, we're in a market right now that you have to kind of, if you're looking to make money and play this a little better, then you have to keep an eye on the market well, and you have to know when to, like, you got to play that Kenny Rogers song over and over and over, man. You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them. and you're going to miss some that'll go back up. But you also like, if anyone's listening to me, and I'm not like, because I've been wrong on everything else, so, but I'm just going to throw myself one chalk. If you did Matic, if you did Root at $5, you did stuff like that, you're still up. You're still pushing from the market. Someone just threw up the, am I still big on DFIN? And I've heard it's called Define, so I was wrong on the spelling. But yeah, I'm huge on Define. I'm huge on QuickSwap. I'm huge on anything that Matic's messing with right now. I'm huge. I call myself a short-term Matic maxi for sure. Because right now, they are building a huge liquidity thing with Matic, with Aave. They've got tons of money rolling in. If you watch DeFi Pulse, I could just go on. I mean, all these people with the fees, like if you were selling out on Uniswap, you sold out. Not only did you take a loss, you took a $300 price hit on your gas fees. So I'm big time on Matic. I'm big time on all the big DeFi right now. Your Synthetics, SNX, Sushi, and Sushi's going up because Sushi's partnered with Matic. They've got Matic integrating, right? Binance today looks like crap. I actually think Binance really have been showing the true colors lately. They've been holding out on Phantom wallets, and Phantom's another coin you want to watch because they're cheap stuff. So Binance, with their shenanigans of holding back Phantom wallets, they still haven't integrated Matic, but they'll eventually have to bite the bullet because Matic's starting to steal a lot of Binance Chain's stuff. But you had so much stuff not working today, and Matic was just, I was just sitting there.
Yeah. Bunny got rugged today.
Who?
The big thing.
Bunny did.
Oh.
Bunny. What's
A
Bunny?
lot of rugs today as well, guys. A lot of rugs.
Yeah, on Binance. I just saw a few tweets.
Yeah.
Maybe you
like
need
a
to
rug pull?
explain what this. Maybe you need to explain what this is to the community when you
A rug
say
pull?
that. And Bunny got rugged. What does that mean?
A rug pull is when a coin pulls all their liquidity, sells all their coins, and just sends it straight to zero. They lied to you. It was a scam, basically. And I don't know. I'd love to find out the actual amount of rug pulls today, but my feed was, there was literally an account called War on Rugs, and it was someone who always exposed rug pulls, and they actually rug pulled their own coin and even put in their Twitter, I did this because you guys all are stupid and you will never learn. Like right there, they showed their true colors. But what happens is when you see these kind of capitulation wicks, a lot of people see that this could be a bear market. And if they're a dead, even if they had character before, they see all the money, these millions of dollars that they still have in that coin that they could walk away with now. And then obviously they have a change of character and heart, and they pull all the liquidity out, sell the coin, drop it to zero, and run away with millions.
Here's I don't have much to say on the rug pulls because I think Tim nailed it dead on the head. You really got to be careful about the project that you go into. But there was something interesting that he was talking about shadow players and the market makers. So when we're talking about Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, all these major exchanges that really do have a lot of influence on how the market moves, this just proves that we need decentralized exchanges more than ever. So when you look at DeFi with Matic, when you look at PokeSwap, when you look at the BSC and all these great DeFi products, that's obviously where we're going. The only way to have a free market, a true free market, is if it's decentralized.
Yep. This today was literally as hurtful as it was to see, and I don't know if everyone, but for the last few days, I think Friday I was like laughing with Neil and our buddy, like, oh my God, this is great. Next day, boom, I'm like, oh no. And then Sunday, Matic, everything starts going boom. I'm like, yes, guys. And then it's just yo-yoing. And that's how I'm too close to the fire because my emotions are getting caught up. I made a couple stupid plays, but I'm still obviously happy where I am and stuff like that. But as Haas was saying, it just really reaffirmed today, if this is a bear market, there's still money to be made, and that money's going to be made in all the stuff that will be rectifying these problems, aka helping with liquidity, helping with fees, helping with networks, all that. If your money was, you're trying to sell today and you can't get out of Binance, or you couldn't move your leverage trading money back to your main account to withdraw. So they had you by the kahunas either way you moved there. And
okay,
that's just,
so Tim, to your point on that, so give us a project that you think is fixing something like that everybody could invest in if they wanted to.
So future, so right now, Matic, Phantom, kind of the hottest place currently. Like Hasa said before, once ETH version 2 comes out, I will then reassess my how much I'm leveraged in Matic and stuff. But for now, real working product, helping Ethereum and everyone save fees, quicker swaps, all this stuff. The decentralized apps that are running on it are far better. Long term though, DOT, the parachain stuff, that's something I've been telling Neil to keep an eye on for our next move. Stuff like that will be big. Yeah, it's highlighted that there's going to be money to be made, but it's going to be selective. I don't think we're ever going to get 2017 where I looked up and I only got a taste of it, but where every coin was up tons. It's not happening.
Tabitha in chat also mentioned ADA, which I completely agree with. As much as I am a Polkadot bull, absolutely 100%. What Cardano is doing and what they're trying to do with their blockchain is going to be massive in the grand scale of things. Onboarding more human capital into the system, giving peer-to-peer loans to a lot of people. It's going to be massive what ADA is going to do, and plus what ADA is going to do with DeFi. But it's obviously, we're still in development, right? So there is a little bit of speculation with any of these blockchains that we're talking about, even with Layer 2 Matic, because everything's not done. All the projects aren't done. We don't even have ETH 2.0 coming out, right? So we're still waiting on a lot of these changes. So really, when you're investing now, you're investing in the solution of the future problems. But I'd absolutely add ADA to that. So yeah.
Yeah, I can't give Cardano a nod until they pull something off anymore, because I was in Cardano at a penny ages ago, and I don't trust Charles Hodgkinson or whatever his name is, and I want to see results. Until I see results, I'm willing to admit I'm wrong again. But
I think honestly that's a valid concern that a lot of people have with Cardano, but you do got to recognize too it is a peer-reviewed process where there's research going on to get these updates in there. It's not as quick as like Polkadot's going to be, for example,
sure,
or like Ethereum, right?
There's still stuff that's, I don't know. I just feel like for 4 years, what other people have done that 4 years versus this. And obviously you do your research. My big thing is also, like I've always told you, obviously use case you're first. And I know Haas has gone off about this list too, but when you're reviewing coins, use case, you want to be big. But if you don't have a team and the proper people to execute on that, then it's nothing but an idea. And we all have good ideas, but I'm sure all of us can admit that we've all had $1 million idea, but we've never done anything about. And Charles Hodgkin, or whatever you want, I can't remember his last name off by heart, but he just reminds me of a guy that I just don't know if he's got the chops to pull it off. If someone else could like pull off what he's envisioning, great, but he just seems like a ticking time bomb who's been kicked out of the Ethereum. I don't know. And like I said, if I'm wrong, and I'll be wrong, but I just can't speak high of Cardano until they pull it off.
What do you guys think about Celsius?
I'm in love with the app. It's an amazing app. It's an amazing token. Any exchange token is going to do well, but like it gives you the best interest rates in the industry. Like how could you go wrong?
Yeah. See, I Celsius is a beast. It just seems to be like off on its own thing right now. You don't hear a lot about it anymore since it's done its huge run, but it's totally, can't say anything bad about Celsius. It's what I was hoping Kasha would have done. And I'll be the first to admit now, I was wrong on Kasha. Kasha's pulled a Cardano in a sense. Kasha's been around since 2017. They've delayed out the last 5-6 months when the product was supposed to come out, and they never did it. So why would I go back? You know, if you fooled me once, there's too many other projects out there. And I would just be careful of Cardano. It's got a great cult-like following, though, and any coin like your XRPs and stuff that have huge followings are still going to go nuts. So price-wise, I think you're still safe in a lot of those coins. But and I would definitely choose XRP over Cardano any day of the week. So Cardano and Tron X are my two least favorite up in the top 50.
Wow.
So Gary Matthews has asked a couple of times, what are your thoughts a year from now? Or are we all now too far out because we're all in the red today?
No, I think if we're looking at realism and market cycles, like realistically, we could see a market peak sometime by the end of 2022. I wouldn't surprise me to see something in January. It's always realistic. A year from now, I don't see anything dramatically different than now. Maybe more hype, maybe more news about it, maybe more private investors, but I still don't think we'll be using crypto on our day-to-day. I don't think we'll have the mass adoption in a year from now. I think at the end of the day, whatever we see a year from now is going to be based on speculation rather than actual use case, right? Maybe in the next 5 years, that's probably a different deal. We might see like onboarding of governments, businesses, and everything else. So
that's a great point, Haas, because that's exactly what I'm thinking about. because now you see that this government's looking at getting into crypto or some sort of coin or whatever the case is. So I guess my question to the panel is, with the involvement of government wanting to stick their toes in, how much does that cause effect and muddle stuff in the world of cryptocurrency? Or does it have any effect at all?
Absolutely. And the more regulation we get, the less people are going to make like crazy money. As bad as this volatility can mess with our emotions, the fact is we're going to make a lot more money in deregulated volatility than we will in just like cushiony type stock markets and stuff that are regulated and watched over. So the more they intervene, the less chances we have of taking a small amount of money and turning it into a large amount of money, my opinion.
I'm a firm believer of free markets, 100%. Government regulation, in my opinion, only stifles innovation. There are good places where government intervention and regulation can help. But as we see it, like if you take the SEC, for example, the SEC is a gangster in government clothing right now. There is no regulation coming from the SEC. It's all shakeouts. So as it stands right now, I'd rather the government take their grubby hands off of markets and let them be free and dictated by us humans. And you know what? If that means massive capitulation and we lose 50, 60% in the night, so be it. That's a free market for you.
Yeah. You gotta pay to play in this game if you want to make it to the top. And it's the bruises you got to take and keep going. I literally had a tweet on my Twitter today, and it was like, been through it and all this, and it was like a guy in a body cast that I posted a picture of, because that's how it feels like sometimes. Like the amount of, I've been through the March Wick, I've been through 2018, I've seen my $300,000 go to $55,000 in 2 minutes, because obviously the coin that I was mega in basically rug pulled on me. Luckily I was at the computer and got out, or else I would have gone to zero. Like I've taken the beatings,
Did you ever see that? Yeah. Did you ever see that meme with the one of the old guys that they interviewed in Band of Brothers, one of the real vets, and it says something like, "Crypto isn't stressful at all." Yeah. It says John, age 22, and he's just like 89. I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. Yeah,
the really popular meme of that old guy with the white beard, and it's always just like, I'm doing okay. And he's got the saddest smile on him.
Everything's fine. Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah, that's definitely. I'll admit that I have definitely the last few days I've been going. And I even wrote Tim, because I wasn't even going to I kind of, this was before though the big wick, and Neil knew this too, but like I was going to take a few days off just to realign. And then I realized like Neil and like my buddies and people who have been texting me all the time, like I've kind of helped them get into this. So I this is not the time to get out, but at the same time, I don't want to be giving a ton of advice right now because I'm not quite sure where I'm at. But someone just posted, I don't think the bull market runs over. I personally, in my heart, don't see how it's over. I don't, because we've only had from March last year till now, and we had a 2-year hard bull bear market, and then we had a really ugly fall for the most part for all altcoins, and we've had a pretty ugly last couple months for most altcoins. And you're trying to tell me that was our bull market? It just seems hard to believe that.
Yeah, well, Tim Perry, you told us that it was going to be a bumpy couple of weeks before the alt season started. What? I'm thinking in my mind that this is part of the bumpy. Is this part of the bumpy couple of weeks?
I spent a lot of time today looking at my patterns, right? And it turns out that in 2017, the first big alt season came. And like I said, this alt season still won't be like the past ones. You're going to be more selective, but just that the fact that this is what I personally think. But I found a pattern today, which was Ethereum went up to like $300 and then literally came down 330, came down to like 160, and Bitcoin dropped too. And then you had your first altcoin run. So ETH actually dropped after ETH ran. So that was one thing that I today was like, oh, I missed that in my analyzation of patterns before. So this would kind of run in line with that. And someone else posted a chart today of, that was May, June of 2017 too, when that happened, which is eerily scary and similar to the timeline that we're seeing today. So yeah, no, my heart is still leaning and my instincts are still saying that I was wrong on Bitcoin's movement. I've so far been somewhat on the ball because I'm just trying to measure, and then I try to measure my hit misses to see if I'm, wrong 7 times out of 10, then I definitely need to listen to other people more. So far, I've been wrong on Bitcoin, but like I said, the majors would start running. And we've seen Matic and the majors that I said would run are holding their price better. I wouldn't say they've run the way I wanted them to. So yeah, no, I feel wrong on some things, but my heart and instinct still going, I feel like we're just going to get that big green dildo going back up. That'll still push dominance up a bit to affect the alts, but then they'll go after. A buddy that was in my trading the other day, so far all my buddies that I've traded with have been dead on at least about the bear trend. One buddy, though, called a huge thing the other night. He said when I was all happy and kind of like about Matic, he goes, dude, they're just pumping the alts right now to prop Bitcoin up before they drop it huge on us. And he was dead on. They made yesterday look all great for our altcoins, and they had Bitcoin just sitting on, and Neil at least knows this, I said Bitcoin still looks like crap. I said that, I admitted that. I'm like, Bitcoin looks like crap. We just can't have a big red dildo, and we're fine. Unfortunately, we got that. So
why would they do that?
To suck us all in. To get it's liquidity, right? You just made a ton of liquidity today.
There's a comment there, Teddy Gator, and I'm going to bring this into the conversation because I feel like I have an input on this. Are we going to talk about China banning crypto? I'm going to answer that question with another question. What has happened every time that China's banned crypto? Sure, it's going to go on a downturn, but how many times at this point have they banned crypto? It's FUD. It's all FUD. Yeah. Screw them. It'll go back up eventually. China can't hold it down. As much as they think that they will, and their digital yuan is going to be a great blockchain product for CBDCs in China. But still, like, do you want a digital yuan run by the CCP? Probably not. But yeah, sure, they've banned crypto like how many times? So did Russia, so did Turkey. That was big in the news. People are constantly banning crypto. Just look at prohibition, alcohol prohibition. What happened with alcohol? It brought up one of the biggest gangsters of all time, Al Capone. There's a lot of money to be made in prohibition. It's never going to stop cryptocurrency. So yeah, it's going to cause the market to dip a little bit, but there's so much going on that I can't say that it's this, it's that, it's this. It is a combination of market manipulation, bad news, and FUD. Absolutely.
And to elaborate on that too, like, it's all used to coordinate. Like, I'm sorry guys, but like most of the Bitcoin, I do believe, is owned by very selective groups and people in the world. It's just a fact. They'll still run it up. It still doesn't mean we're not going to make money, but we're at the whims of all these guys. And all this news, like, wham, bam, 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 all at one after the other. Elon's in on it too. He's a piece of shit, you know? Like, I've never trusted a billionaire. I don't know why people idolize these people, but Elon's a piece of shit. I saw an interesting thing today that made the rounds on Twitter. I actually found the link. It was posted hours before the dip. You could still manipulate the timeline, who knows, but it was interesting. But this guy on like 4chan was saying how in the next few hours that there was going to be a massive, and it was before 7 a.m. He goes, before 7 a.m., big Asian players are going to absolutely drop the price to liquidate a big, as they called it, white guy who coordinated the earlier FUD to buy back at earlier prices. They were going to liquidate him. So this was almost a power play. And while I don't per se believe that exact story, I do believe that this is a power play. And I do believe that these are people with tons of money and tons of clout and tons of influence that are basically, and we're just caught up in the whole kerfuffle of it. But in the end, like Haas said, you can't stop an idea whose time has come to pass. Bitcoin and blockchain is not going anywhere, but, you know, and we could argue, you know, like Tim said, you know, we have adoption, we have all those things. That won't stop sentiment, though. Like, a global economic collapse will still hurt the prices of the coins for a while, but it won't stop the inevitable outcome of it.
Yeah, listen, in terms of like an economic collapse, they're trying to make as much goddamn money as humanly possible. Absolutely. Well, Mark says there, JP Morgan type whales, this is actually what's happening. It is the financial industry that's shaking everyone out because they want back in. They want the low Bitcoin price. They want Bitcoin under $30,000. So if you want to be the dumb money, yeah, go ahead and sell. Absolutely. More power to you. If you want to be the smart money, follow the smart money. Get in now.
Yeah, Lark Davis did something when I was watching him this morning, and he was talking about that they looked at who's been selling the Bitcoin, and it's people who've had wallets that haven't been holding for any length of time. The wallets that have been holding for a long, long time, they ain't moving. And I'm not changing my position on Bitcoin. I'm holding my Bitcoin strong. I believe Ethereum will turn around too. I think what we've been talking about for the last few months and all the different projects, if you believed in the projects 3 weeks ago, then you should still be believing in them now. They dipped down, but so does the stock market. Listen, Enbridge could take a tank, but people still need natural gas. They still need to do all those things. That's still a service that's needed. I'm not going to sell it just because it takes a dip. And I think that's how we need to look at it.
Devil's advocate too, regarding some coins, especially your small caps. A lot of small caps don't make it through bear markets, not because they don't have the good team, not because they don't have a good idea and product, but they've obviously got a tokenomic system in which they're selling so many coins to keep business, to keep, producing stuff, paying teams, all this. And sometimes that money wears out in a bear market. If the price isn't, ascending, then you will see some fold. So that's why, like I said, I personally think we're still okay for bull type stuff, but just take a look at some of your coins you're in, and if they're smaller cap, you might want to deleverage at least and move into the more stronger.
So give us an example of a smaller cap, because some people
Union. I'm obviously I've told you I'm all out of Union. I love Union, but that's something I would worry about right now in that kind of a market. I mean, it hit 2 cents this morning or whatever. Like that's almost back down, right? Retrace back to where it started. Long term, I would still keep an eye on it, but I would not be in coins like that. The only ones that I'm in right now that are small caps are Define, Root, and QuickSwap, and that's because you're gonna have to use those for your Matic system. If you want to trade for pennies on the dollar, you're gonna go to a Matic exchange right now for your swaps. So, but just understand. All I'm asking people is to be logical. Don't let your emotions, and this is why when I messaged Tim and I've talked with Neil, and sometimes obviously if you were to hear me in real time, you'd think I'm FOMOing or panicking, and sometimes a little bit I am, but for the most part, I'm being logical and going, okay, like you have to look at both sides. You just be like, let's buy the dip and not worry. That's not true. And to continue just watching your money dwindle, if this was 2 months from now, you're doing yourself a disservice when you could at least be in Tether or something, or take profits. Because I think from now on, if I keep seeing this kind of behavior, I will be taking profits into my bank account every now and then, just to make sure I have some cushion.
So, these are good food for thought. So Tim Danter, you and I need a little business meeting after this to maybe rearrange some of our holdings.
Guys, if I'm not here Sunday night, you'll understand what happened.
Well, hey guys,
Come back with my arm in a sling. It's like
you guys invested with me.
So one big thing to remember too, if you are somebody that did sell, right, and you sold at a loss, very important that you keep track of this, because if you did, you can claim that on your taxes as a loss.
Yep.
So if you have done that, please make sure you're at least keeping track of those transactions. Please don't sell at a loss anyway. Some people actually strategically will sell at a loss to lower their taxes. But if you did sell, you can always claim it.
So veteran S, good Lord, Ave is down to 450. 450 Canadian or American? Because that makes a big difference. It's down to 450 American. It's down to the same price it was last week.
Yeah.
Matic, if anybody's been in Matic, when I told you that was 30 cents, it's at like 170, whatever, 160 or whatever it's at, you're still up, right? So like you have to, don't get me wrong, I was in USDC the other day. So I'm kicking myself because I could still be up tens of thousands of dollars and played a little more proper, but I'm still up on the week. Like once again, also like take a look back at where you started. If you did just get in the last few months, realize that they're growing pains. I didn't make money in that bull market in 2017 till the end. So it's also like Haas said, most people panic are the ones who just bought in, and you can't blame them because this is a bad initiation to get into. But I told Neil, because Neil just got in 2 months ago, it could have been a lot worse if Neil didn't listen to reason and get out of Eternity. And it's true now. Eternity went from $60 and now it's at $6 right now.
Oh yeah, it's dead.
So all those coins, Omi's down to like 3.5 tenths of a penny. All of these coins we were talking about are retracing on a huge thing. But Neil, listened to the voice of reason, got in other coins. He's probably not back in the green yet, but at least he's preserving some money to make a fight for when this starts turning around.
With any sort of big dump, especially a dump like this is a rite of passage for any crypto holder. So it is almost perfect that you guys are here, especially if you just got into the market. And if you're here and you haven't sold anything through this, pat yourself on the back because you just lived through your first crypto capitulation. That this happens from time to time. 40 to 50% retracements are very, very common until you've been one, like you haven't been in crypto, right? So this is a rite of passage for everyone.
Yeah, that's insane though. I haven't looked at the markets since the morning, and
it's pretty rough right now. Like I'm watching the chart. It's not looking great.
Yeah.
That's
I know. This is the worst. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat things. I told you this is the worst I've ever seen it in my 4 years, hands down. And I'm not trying to scare you guys, but I'm being real with you. And it took 2 years to do what crypto has done in 2 weeks to 2 months.
Yeah, I'd like to keep in perspective, though. We still are holding a good level of support at 32,000, so there's no need to panic at all. But do expect the prices to go lower in the near term. Absolutely.
Yeah. And as you can see, I'm not like shaking in my boots. I'm just like trying to be real with people, that just be logical. Mm-hmm. It can. They can literally make you. You can go months and months and just continue to watch your money go down. It's just happening at an accelerated price, which hopefully is a super cycle, and this super cycle ends up shooting it back up the other way that we want it to go, which obviously could happen. But I can't blow hot air up you guys' butts right now because I've been in this for 4 years. And it's
something that I can't let go of.
Go ahead.
Why
Tim.
do you always do that to me? Why do you always do that? The one thing, Tim, you're doing is it's like a haunting memory. It's not a haunting memory, but I'm playing it over and over and over again. You've only said it like 20 minutes ago, is the fact that it's all the big whales that are doing this so they can get into the game. It's the banks or the finance companies and stuff. We don't, I mean, they do that in the stock side. Why can't they leave the crypto side alone and just let us go and make money?
Because it's deregulated. They can do more, like Elon.
Yeah, I know.
Elon can't get fined or arrested for doing what he's doing with crypto because it's not regulated. He's manipulating stuff and you can't do anything about it. But when you factor in now that we live in a world of bots, so you have all these bots that they're going to sell on stuff, because for a long time it never made sense how you could just see a whole flash of red all the way down crypto. And it's like the average human being's not all sitting at their computer ready to sell. But when you have bots running and stuff like that, it does the work for you. So you factor in bots, then you factor in all it takes is for the whales to manipulate the two top coins, Bitcoin or Ethereum. They drop those. It causes the cascade of bot effects, which then cascades the effect of liquidations with leverage traders. And then, of course, the panic from people who just don't want to see them losing all their money. It's so easy to manipulate markets now. And we're at the whim of it. And as long as you accept that, then you can at least think logically again as to what their next game plan would be. But unfortunately, I'm trying to think like a whale, and I just don't have a clear answer right now. They could just keep dropping it because everyone keeps thinking that everyone keeps placing more longs. Oh, this has got to be the bottom, and they're just going to keep shaking them out. And of course, we're going to get paid for that because we don't have the money to sell the Bitcoin and be leveraged 100 to 1, with a massive amount of money. So we're kind of in everyone's palms of hands. All we can do is try to think like them and position our bets on where they're going to go and how they're going to play it.
Think about it this way. In a lot of ways, we're front running the next generation. We're front running the next amount of institutional money coming in. We're front running billions of people. We're going to be before all of these other people in the crypto market invested in there. All you got to do is hold tight. It's going to be scary. It's not always going to go up. You got to be ready for that. But as long as you HODL, I promise you, everything's going to be okay.
Nobody knows buy-in points here, but I've been kind of quiet this whole time, just watching what used to be dwindle into nothing. But but again, I think the hard part too is when we're all here, for instance. I don't think anyone in this group has this issue, but I know that or Haas probably deals with it. I know you guys do. I do. It's always battling those people who are super, super freaked out. Like the one instinct I have right now is not to sell. I'm not going to be selling. One of the most annoying things is people questioning every 2 minutes why I'm not going to be getting out of something because something happened 5 minutes ago. But establishing good buy-in points right now, I'm just like looking at things right now. And again, that and I'm just reflecting back on that dude I was watching last night. We've seemed to hit a nice little bounce back point on ETH. I'm just wondering though, the $2,200, $2,000 level is, can anyone in this group see us going below that, say even 1950 to 2200 level for ETH?
Easily.
Okay.
Let me just pull up the ETH chart really quick to take a look at it.
I'm looking right now. Haas, bring it up. But I'm looking right now, and if we pushed below that, the only other support level that I'm seeing right now brings us right down to $1,300 to $1,500.
Oh, yeah, all my bottoms have been smashed right through. My bottom for ETH was 2,700.
Yeah, so I unfortunately don't have it on my one screen. I have to have it on another computer. I don't have my trading view on my laptop, so I can't share it. But looking at ETH right now, like we do have a lot of support where we're at, but that doesn't mean anything
for the moment.
Yeah, for the moment. That doesn't mean anything about where Bitcoin is. And looking at Bitcoin and looking at the rest of the crypto market, it's not looking very healthy, regardless of what ETH is looking like. Now, ETH did go through a bit of a drop. So it's not unlikely for us to see it lower than what we have now. If I were to say probably a good bottom end point, I'd probably say is the lowest absolute bare bone bottom sale that I could see ETH go to is probably around 1450. But I'd probably say, yeah, you're probably on the money saying around 1900. Could be
for the next one. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Could be a nice entry point for ETH. Now, again, I'm going to stress this enough because I've said it numerous times. Dollar cost average. Don't throw everything in because I could be wrong. Everyone could be wrong, and it could go further down. So just be ready with some money on the sidelines. But
yeah.
How can they predict a $10,000 ETH coin when we're going through this muddle of crap right now by September, October? How can they possibly predict that when this is going on right now?
Because it could literally go like the way we've just seen the red for the last bit can also be green.
I was going to say this all happened in just barely a few. Yeah. This is what kills me too, and also everyone who has these thoughts where I was thinking last week I was just going to take it all out or do something, whatever. Last week I had about 3.3 Ethereum coins last week. I was going to take 1.3 out, and to do personal stuff with. I was probably going to throw out my RRSP, whatever. Now I kind of wish I did, but all these feelings that we're having right now, and it's not just you guys on the other side of the screen. Everyone in this room right now is probably thinking there's a million things we could have done when we had all these thoughts going on over the last 2 weeks. Everyone's just got to take a step back and seriously chill out. Even me just sitting here right now looking at the Ethereum chart like it's going to even make a difference. So it's, you know what I mean? So I think everyone's just got to chill out a little bit, dollar cost average in, even more reason to maintain those cash reserves and cash holdbacks for stocks and crypto.
Warren Buffett said it best, guys. Like, get greedy when people are fearful and get fearful when people are greedy. And what happened when we were at 54, 55K Bitcoin? Everyone was sure as hell greedy as hell. Now when we're down here at 36,000, all of a sudden people are selling. You know, I don't get it. Buy low, sell high.
But is it possible that we talked about this earlier? Is it possible that people put stop losses in and they said, okay, if it goes to here, I'm out, and it's just pulling it out? And that's why people. Yeah.
Because they can see those stop losses, right? Your stop losses are out there, like you can visible. But you've got stop losses, but then you've got, like I said, leverage trading. I'm really starting to see that leverage trading is drastically hurting the crypto market.
It's probably I was watching, so all day long, this is kind of outside of making videos and yada, yada, yada. I'm just watching all this stuff on the TV. That's the number one thing I heard right now is over leveraged traders and investors right now on the crypto side. And I actually don't know much about how you can trade even an option for crypto, for instance, but I heard someone mention that. I don't know if I'm mishearing it, but over leveraged trading, or being called, and I actually had a question for you guys maybe too, because I've been questioning this. For instance, on BlockFi, if I were to borrow 10 grand or whatever, and then we see this 50% drop, do you get kind of margin called, so to speak?
Yes.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
So
actually, then people are just absolutely crushed right now. And I mean like done, because with a 50, given the requirements they have in order to borrow against crypto, not just on BlockFi, but pretty much everywhere else, the amount of people who are friggin' tapped after the last few days, if they got called out, is probably astronomical.
And
I
not
would
to mention
hate to be that guy.
And this is where I highlight even more, and that synergy between the liquidity issues and these flash crashes. So that Saturday night crash we spoke about, which is like now like an anthill compared to a mountain that we're dealing with now. But there was that, I told the story of the one guy who he was in Ren protocol and it flash crashed because of liquidity issues from $1 to a penny. And the guy who was only in for a couple grand in his leverage trade got liquidated for his whole 6-figure portfolio.
So here's one thing about leverage trading. Leverage trading itself is not terrible as long as you know what you're doing and you're very careful with it. Actually, leverage trading could help you identify key things in the market. I often trade with 2, 3, 4x leverage, never really more than that. Now, I do have a loan. I'm going to try to show this on camera. Hopefully it comes up.
Go down. You can't see.
Yeah, down.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to get the dollar amount there. So there we go.
$12.
So no. So that's my interest rate
21.
that I'm paying.
21. Yeah.
21,000 is my liquidation price for Bitcoin, for a total of 2,400 USD. So what I ended up doing is I took that loan, $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. So it's probably worth like maybe 8,000 now, maybe less. My leverage or my margin call, they're going to ask for more Bitcoin if Bitcoin hits 21,000. Well, I've looked at my support levels. I know where we're going. I know to hit 21,000, that has to be a very bearish drop, right? My liquidation isn't until 17,000. So am I going to get liquidated? Low chance, but Celsius is a really good provider. They'll contact me and I can always add Bitcoin and they'll keep my loan up. So,
but Haas, you are one of the few people who knows what they're doing. You see too many people now jumping into crypto. They follow Twitter and they follow these traders, and all of a sudden they magically think they can do this stuff.
I would say there's an appropriate way to do it. Like there's leveraging, 10x, 20x on Binance, and leveraging Bitcoin, leveraging Doge, and all these coins. And then there's leveraging your assets. So similar to what the Canadian Bitcoiners said when they mentioned that they were taking loans with their low interest rate houses. I pay a 1.5 interest rate on that sell loan. So the $12 is what you guys see. That's how much that loan costed me. And that loan over the long term, who knows what ROI it's going to take me. I've already leveraged my Bitcoin. This is my third time now. And each time it's made me a yield well over 200%. So.
Well, all I'm getting is that there's just a lot, like, it takes years to be really good at charts and being able to do that stuff. And you have so many kids these days coming in and just allured by all these, and most of these people on Twitter are only telling you their success stories.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not telling you their beatdowns. They're not telling you the years that they took to do it. I don't know if I misinterpreted Neil today, but Neil was like, "Oh, I'm going to start trading this," and I literally scolded Neil. I was like, "Neil, do not trade. This is not the time to be trading. This is not the time to be doing that, because that's where you get chopped up huge." And I'm a guy who's been in the game on and off 20 years, stocks and stuff like that. I still won't touch leverage trading. I still won't touch that. And it's not that if I'm not even on Haas's level of chart reading and understanding the text. If I was Haas, maybe I would. But even at the level I'm at, which is far higher than some of the people I talk to, and they're sitting there trying to chart, I'm like, and trade, I'm like, you might want to just rethink your plan.
Yeah. Well,
it's already volatile enough.
Well, this has been a fun night for us all to be together and have chit chat while the market has been dropping like crazy. It's given me a little bit of things to think about, but mainly I'm just going to continue to do what I've been doing, which is holding. Right, Tim? Danter?
Left Nancy Danter.
Oh, geez. Anyways, you guys have been wonderful as always. Thank you so much for everybody.
Hey, I just made a comment for the next winner.
What?
Does anyone in the chat here tonight have a birth month of October and a birth year of 1965? They could be the next winner of a book.
I do.
Are you going to give something else away?
What?
Sorry?
Oh, my goodness. You guys are
I'll
Too
change
crazy.
my birthday.
Are you giving another prize away? Because that took a
Apparently
long
not.
time.
Apparently
It
not.
took us a long time to do
We
that.
should
the
save it
last
for the
time.
next time. Hopefully
Save
the
it for
next
the
time.
next time. Cheesy Josie, this was really great. We had more people watching tonight than
Yes,
we've ever
thank you.
had. We really, really appreciate it. If you're new and watching, and you like what you see, you want to hit like and subscribe because and get a notification bell so you know when we're coming on. We typically do Crypto Night in Canada on Wednesday nights at 8:00 and Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much to our panelists, as always. Thank you so much to everybody that participated in the comment section. You guys are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Have a happy long weekend to everybody that's in Canada, and we will see you next week on Crypto Night in Canada.
And don't stress about the volatility, guys. If you're a long-term holder, then relax, have a beer, chill out, but just the FUD, okay? If you're a long-term holder and you want financial freedom, whether it's through stocks or crypto, chill out, okay? This happens all the time, so relax. I'm kind of getting used to that myself. It's not easy, but people need to take a step back maybe and reevaluate why they're stressed in the first place, get some education and learn a little bit more about the thing that you don't know that's stressing you out. So maybe education will be the answer, and maybe that's kind of the homework for the week is figure some things out, get yourself a better footing, and then go forward next time. But don't worry, guys. The FUD is real. Don't be a victim of it.
No, it's so true. We'll be on Sunday night on HiRye's channel on Crypto and Sunday Night Talk, and I'm sure Haas will have so much news this week. He'll be pumping out videos. Anyways, Ken, thanks again. Neil, thanks again. Tim Perry, mwah, mwah. Thank you. Have a good night.
All right.